We started off this colouring session with Sarah Renee Clark colour cubes. This is card colour 208. In World Within World books, Kirby Roseanne's put the teeny tiny little colour pages at the back, which is really useful so that I can choose my colour palette, I can decide where those colours are going, and I've got a very small little visual idea of where it is that I'm going. I love my Faber-Castell polychromos pencils. For me, I find the wax base just helps them blend together really nicely. It's effortless putting some of that colour down onto the paper. And as you can see here, I was just using it so lightly to give it a little background colour, and then just finding a very neutral colour to go with it as well, so that it takes that base white away from the background. Layers, layers, layers. That's what I've learned to do with pencils and colouring. Just keep on building those soft layers up, getting a nice little bit of depth to the colour, a little bit more flavour on there. Again, taking that white away from there and just putting an ever such a slight off-white on top of it. The lily, I was looking to just get white tips and a nice deep dark base. This picture is absolutely gorgeous. The more I was colouring it, the more I was looking into it with the little baby whales in the pods. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Probably being a little bit too subtle here with my colours, so I brought in a peach. Just adding a touch of colour to everything. This is me dithering about what colour to do the pods. So I've gone back to the little tiny pictures in the back as a reference and played around. Now we're moving on to the background. So on here, I was going to use my Derwent Inktense, but the look I was going for was a nice, soft, gentle pastel for the background to kind of bring those minty green colours in. As you'll see, it didn't quite work out that way. I'm not disappointed in the slightest though. I love what I've done on this one. These are just chalks. They're standard plain chalks, nothing special, but just splodge a bit of colour down as and where you need it. I've got the gradient going on here as well. So the dark green on the outside, a more minty green coming into the inside, and a very pale yellowy green on the inside. Now this is just a paper stump. Again, nothing special, nothing branded. It's just tightly rolled up paper. I used this instead of a cotton bud. I should have used a cotton bud, but I couldn't find them at the time, so I just used something instead of using my fingers. As you can see, the chalk blends so smoothly. You can put those different colours together and just make it look as one. Again, if you go over the lines, you just rub it out with a pencil. It's so easy. You don't need to be careful with it. Splash it on, move it about, smudge it in. Happy days. concentrating on making it a little bit darker and smoothing it out right in that crease. So I started off nice and neatly going in between the lily pads, and then it sort of dawned on me that lily pads are green anyway, so why not just get a little bit of a base colour down and then work on it a little bit later, darkening them up and putting a little bit of texture to them. Ah yes, but they do it on the second page exactly the same as well. Such a fantastic colour. Smooth it all in, get it into all of those little grooves, across all of those lily pads, not worrying too much about being neat. I say not worrying too much about being neat. This video, we looked at the recording time of how long it took from start to finish. I layer and layer and layer, and I hold back from putting darker colours in and really going for it. So it's almost as if I coloured the page 3 or 4 times. You'll see what I mean in a little bit, kind of leading through. So 7 hours total recording time it took us to get this double spread done. Just going back to my reference picture, seeing what colour to do the whales. And the dark greeny blue kind of fit really well. And I think I looked back at it again after a little while and just wanted to add a little bit more pink into it, a little bit more pinky purple. So in a minute I kind of rub out a lot of it and then put a bit more of a pinky colour down. So it does look a bit purple once I'm done actually. Yeah, going back to my reference card. Blurry picture. I wonder if that's because I used my front camera instead of my back camera. Interesting. Just darkening up, layering more colour on. Get that nice pink and blue in there. Oh, that's a bit clearer, isn't it? Dark and lights are so very important. I'm at the beginning stages of learning about these, just how much of an effect they can have on the paper. I overthought this whole page as well, especially the little baby whales. Although it looks like it's like, yeah, we'll just do it this colour, that colour. The amount of times I stopped and looked back at the card and thought, what was I doing? And I went back to the miniature page at the back and, you know, am I connecting this right? Is this looking like it makes sense? This is my little electric rubber that I was just taking the chalks off of the lily stems, so that I could colour them as a part of the colour match. I was going to go over the purple just to tie everything in and pull everything together quite nicely and make it nice and dark as well. really brings them out, making those bits there dark. I like the way everything's got its own little touch of colour as well. So although the stems are pink and purple, each of them are ever so slightly different. Some have got a little bit more pink on them, and a bit like life really, isn't it? Not everything's the same. Just using the piece of paper to protect my hand from the chalk that's underneath it, so I didn't smudge it too much, and so that I didn't get my hands dirty. Oh, look at that rich, gorgeous colour. So this bit here, with all the pencils at the top, I was going through my pencil case and realised that some of them were in the wrong colour order. So at that point there, I pulled out the colours that were in the wrong place. Needless to say, by the end of the night, they were still there. They hadn't been put back at all, and they just went in a blank place in my pencil case in the end. So I didn't actually do anything at all with them. I lost all my energy. Just laying a little bit more colour down on the lily pads, and then I'll start darkening them up and then putting a bit of definition into them. Look at the little snail. Matching the tiny little fish to the colours on the page, trying not to bring in any more colours. This was difficult, sticking with those colours strictly. I know the cards from the colour cube are a reference, but if I'm not pulled in, I do go a bit wild. So this is on to day 2 of colouring. Nice bit of shading under the frog. Now Lily's come out a lot nicer than I'd hoped as well. as happy as I was with the picture, this was pretty much finished, but there was something still kind of niggling away at me that wasn't quite done, which is why you'll see me keep on putting colours and colours and colours on to try and layer it a little bit more. And then it was a short while later, I was like, it's actually darkness that I need. I need a lot more depth around the little lily pad baby whales in there, so that the bubbles, as you can see in the middle of them, kind of popped a little bit more. As it was, I didn't colour them, I probably should have done. But the splash with the whale coming out of the lily as well, that was bugging me. It didn't quite separate between the lily and the water. So in a little while, I will darken that right up, and it makes such a huge difference as well. Yeah, this is when I decided that the lily just needed to be darker and darker and darker. Such a good choice. Get that right in there, look at that. Really see the definition of it. And that one, don't forget the big lily. Look at that. And look how nicely they smooth out as well. There's no harsh lines or anything. So I realised partway through these were like water lines, and I'd coloured over them, so I was just rubbing them out from the whale. And then the lily pads on the second page. Give them a bit of definition. Oh yeah, and somewhere along the line, I changed my frog to blue. So he stood out a little bit more than green. I thought green was quite typical. Mandy coloured the same page as well, so what we had was the same colour card, the same book from Kirby Roseanne's World Within Worlds, but we didn't see each other's actual colouring. And at the end it was supposed to be like, we'll reveal and see how different one set of colours can look being done by two different people. But her camera had a few problems along the way, so we'll do it in two separate videos. And we did have some cheeky peekies at each other's pictures. Look at that, making the water blue and not darker, so you can see the difference between it. I was much happier once I'd done that, much happier. You can see the difference between the lily pad, the lily and the water, just making all of that darker and bringing it out. Happy, happy. And there's my first double spread that I've done. Thank you.